Hello, welcome to Nutrition Better Explained. Why am I making this video? Basically, I think I can skip to the second point, which is that it doesn't need to be that hard and that unpleasant, that difficult, brutal to be slim. A lot of people have given up, actually, on being slim, and I don't blame them because they make effort after effort after effort, and there's just not much to show for it. But that's because they've picked a path and a way of eating that's really, really difficult to manage. And so this video is all about explaining how you can make it easy to stay slim and to be happy. Because food should be pleasurable. It shouldn't be all about angst and anxiety and feeling bad because you're overweight but want to eat. So why is it that people are having such a hard time with food, and why is it that the obesity level keeps going up? It's because people don't have a good enough picture of what's involved, and they're making a lot of choices that are really, really counterproductive. So what is it about the system or the information that I'm presenting? Well, what I'm promising to you is that you can be slimmer, you can look good, you can feel good, you can actually be enjoying a diet that's healthy decades later with heart disease and so on. It helps avoid the ups and downs in energy that people are feeling every day in large part. It's not based on starving. You're going to be eating, or it's possible, it's easy as I'm going to be showing you, to eat good and satisfying food. It works well with the reality of today in that it's not a system that's based on really tight restrictions, and well, there are some restrictions, as you'll see, but more importantly, I don't know, it's frankly pretty easy, and I wouldn't be saying this if I wasn't living it. So most importantly, it's not based on self-control. We'll be talking about that later on, but overall, these are just promises that normally you should be able to feel comfortable that they've been met in the duration of this video. It's not something that I'm expecting that you would need to, put 6 months of your life into changing something and afterwards determine whether or not it's feasible. Hopefully the video will present the information in such a way that you can feel confident that this is actually all within your grasp if you want it. Obviously, it takes change. You need to change certain things if you're used to being a certain way right now. But moving on. So the video is broken down into two different sections, generally speaking. There's the problem of how to stop gaining weight, and there's the problem of losing excess weight that you already have. And overall, there's the information you need to be able to achieve both of these other goals. So overall, we're going to be focusing first on some information that you should have, and then and mixed into that will be focused first on stabilizing your weight, and then on how to get rid of excess fat if you have some. So starting off, here's a quick little breakdown of nutrients. The information that I'm presenting in the video is all available on Wikipedia. That's where I've done most of my fact-checking, but I am a biochemist in training originally, although I did become a programmer in the end. So in any case, looking at the macronutrients and the micronutrients. So macronutrients, obviously, these are the ones that we need in large quantities. We have carbs, protein, lipids or fat, and water. So why did I put these arrows here? It's essentially because we have the ability in our body, our cells are able to convert sugar to fat very easily and very, very quickly. So that's why the arrow here is so big. On the other hand, protein we can convert to sugar in small doses, and sugar we can convert to protein, or excuse me, to amino acids, but only about 2/3 of the amino acids can we generate ourselves. So that's why you have protein or amino acids should be broken down into non-essential and essential. You need to make sure that your diet gets or gives you your essential amino acids, those ones that we can't produce ourselves from sugar. But the main point, or one of the things I just want to people to consider is that these three here, carbs, protein, and lipids, are the calories that we get every day. And a lot of people are focused on counting calories and so on, but they're not aware of the fact, or they don't seem to be aware of the fact, that sugar turns to fat really, really fast in the body. It has to, because if your blood sugar gets too high, you die. So the body's pretty aggressive in maintaining that, and unfortunately diabetics who aren't able to convert sugar to fat easily are the ones who end up having a really, really tough time trying to keep their sugars low. So in any case, we'll be coming back to a little bit of an overview of all these different things in a second, but here's the main point of most of what I'm presenting, and that it's blood glucose, and it's understanding this graph, which hopefully will lead to the understanding that you really need to have in order to stabilize your weight. So let me switch to a different program here. And here I can more easily explain a little bit the graph, because it does present a lot of information. So here we have on the left side here, basically in red, these red columns that we're seeing, or these red lines, are all about blood sugar. So it's in two different measurements, in millimoles per liter or in milligrams per deciliter. But you can see it goes between 70 and 125 or something like that. So this is along here a 24-hour period for a given person, and this is a standard. This is what you would expect to see in if you were to measure your blood sugar throughout the day at every half hour, or every hour, I guess, if you're doing it every half hour. So and on the right here we have insulin. So having both the blood sugar and the insulin does make things a bit more complicated. They're also showing what you would have. This is probably the same person, but measured over 2 days. On the first day, they gave them a starch-rich diet. The second day, they gave them a sucrose-rich diet. So the main difference, I mean, the difference here being how quickly the sugar goes from your stomach and intestines into your bloodstream. So so the thing here is, you have to realize your body and your mind really are targeting something that's kind of around here. And when you're in this range, you actually, where am I going? In any case, it seems like it's probably a little bit narrower here. But when your blood sugar goes too high, what is it that happens? Well, if your blood sugar were to go much higher than the 125 or whatever it is, then you actually get you'll have all the symptoms of a diabetic. You'll go into shock. You'll have tremors, and ultimately you can die. Similarly, if your blood sugar goes too low, you're going to pass out. In particular, though, I should mention, when your blood sugar is really low, like over here, that's when you're in a bad mood. That's when you're tired, you're cranky, and that's when you binge eat, because your body needs that sugar. The one thing about sugar, unlike fat, is that it can go through the blood-brain barrier. There's no blood in the brain, and the brain actually mainly burns on sugar. So you might have lots of fat in your blood cells, or in your blood, and in your fat stores, but doesn't mean anything for your brain, because it's not able to get through in normal circumstances. So the thing that is really, so let's take a look here on your standard day. So you have your breakfast, and you can see here that the blood sugar goes up really high. The insulin matches it generally, so it goes up along with it. And what is it that insulin means for your body? Well, when insulin goes up, then your body has a whole number of other cells that are specialized, that are going to be aware all of a sudden. They don't have a glucose detector or a high glucose detector. They have an insulin detector. And so when there's a lot of insulin, then you all of a sudden your blood cells, your body can start saying to itself, well, there's too much sugar. Let's start using it in better ways, right?